Night settles. 3 bedrooms, 3 different worlds. In a room still and quiet, Big Daddy sits on the edge of his bed. The only light comes from the moon, catching the silver in a framed photo on his nightstand. 2 laughing girls.
His thumb traces the cool glass over their smiles. Miles away, in a universe of stuffed animals and string lights, Nik Flick whispers to a fluffy bear, her voice full of absolute faith. Big Daddy says when you close your eyes really tight, you can go anywhere. She squeezes her eyes shut, a picture of pure belief. Down the hall, Ban lies on her back, the blue light of her phone screen ghosting across her face. She kills her music, plunging the room into silence, and pulls up an old photo. Her father, strong and young, carrying her on his shoulders. She sets the phone down. 3 beds, 3 heartbeats in the dark. And then, the world fades to light.
See you there, meninas. His whisper hangs in the quiet air as he lies back, his breath slowing into sleep. Across the distance, Nik Flick's small body relaxes. Ba takes one final conscious breath.
Big Daddy opens his eyes. He is standing on a small, floating island of emerald grass, adrift in an endless twilight sky. Far below, a sea of clouds stretches to every horizon. The air is cool, smelling of fresh rain and warm cinnamon. He is utterly alone. And then he hears it, a joyful shout carried on the wind from far away. Big Daddy! Big Daddy, I can see you! He turns. There, in the distance, another island floats, and on it, Nik Flick is jumping, waving both arms, her hair a wild halo.
Nik Flick, stay there. I'm coming to... His voice is cut short by another. A calm, sharp sound from a different direction. Nobody move. Look down. It's Ba. She stands on a 3rd island, arms crossed, her eyes already calculating the impossible space between them. Big Daddy and Nik Flick follow her gaze. Between their islands, there is nothing, just an endless fall of sky. They are drifting, slowly but undeniably, apart. So we have to figure out how to get back together, Nik Flick declares, a grin already chasing the worry from her face. That's the adventure!
The 3 islands orbit a dark, empty void, a ghost of the place where another island used to be. Floating in the air between them are glowing fragments, drifting like fireflies. Nik Flick, curious, reaches out and catches one. The moment her fingers close around it, it blooms with warm light. A sound pours from it, her own laughter, bright and clear from years ago. That's me, she whispers, her eyes wide with amazement. That's when we went to the beach and Big Daddy threw me in the water. Inside the glowing orb, a tiny memory plays out like a silent film.
From across the gap, Big Daddy's voice comes, cracking with emotion. I remember that day. Ba catches a fragment of her own. It hums with a low warmth. Inside, her and her father in a kitchen, dusted with flour, smiling. Her jaw tightens. She says nothing. Brigadeiros, she says, her voice low. We were making brigadeiros and you burned the first batch. Big Daddy's voice travels across the void. I burned every batch. You saved them. A smile flickers at the corner of Ba's mouth, almost.
Big Daddy, what is this place? Nik Flick asks, her gaze sweeping over the fragments floating like lost stars. He watches them drift. I think these are our memories. And that empty space in the middle, that's where they used to live, together. Ba's eyes flash with sudden understanding. The island that held them broke apart. That's why we're drifting. There's nothing holding us to the center anymore.
The drift quickens. The islands pull further and further apart. Nik Flick's voice is smaller now, thin against the wind. Big Daddy, I can't see you as well. I'm here, he calls out, his voice a steady anchor. I'm always here. Bae, what do we do? Bae paces the edge of her rocky island, her mind racing. She plucks another fragment from the air. This one shows the 3 of them, haloed in sun. A family. The fragment, she says, thinking aloud. They're what's left. If we can put them back, Nik Flick finishes the thought, her voice ringing with hope. We rebuild it. We put the memories back together.
But how do we get them to the center? We can't reach it from here. A heavy silence falls, broken only by the whistling wind swirling the memories around them. Nik Flick catches a fragment and holds it to her chest, as if warming it. She closes her eyes and speaks to it, her voice soft but clear. I remember this one. This is when Ba taught me to ride a bike and she wouldn't let go of the seat, even though her back hurt. The fragment in her hands pulses with a brilliant light. It lifts from her grasp.
It floats, slowly, surely, toward the empty center. Did you see that? Nik Flick gasps, her eyes shining. When you remember it out loud, it goes home. Bayer understands in a heartbeat. She holds her own memory fragment tight. You weren't just burning the chocolate, Big Daddy. You were trying to learn my favorite recipe because I was sad that week. You thought if you made them it would fix everything. She pauses, her voice softening. It kinda did. Her memory blazes gold and streaks to the center, joining Nik Flick's. 2 points of light become a tiny patch of solid ground.
Big Daddy picks up a fragment of his own. Inside, he is reading a bedtime story, one daughter asleep on each of his shoulders. His voice is deep and warm, a gentle rumble across the void. This was every Tuesday. You both pretended to fall asleep so I'd carry you to bed. I knew you were pretending. I carried you anyway. Every time. The memory flies home, a steady arc of light. The island grows. The drift slows to a stop. Now all three are in motion, gathering fragments, speaking their truths loud. Their voices overlap, weaving a tapestry of moments that builds the ground beneath them, piece by glowing piece.
The time Ba braided my hair for picture day and it actually looked good, Nik Flick shouts. Ba smiles at the memory. When Big Daddy let me drive the car in the parking lot and I almost hit the cart return,
Big Daddy looks across the growing island toward Ba, his expression soft. Nik Flick's first word was Ba. Not mama, not dada, Ba. Ba turns to him, her composure faltering, her eyes wide with surprise. Wait, really? He nods, smiling. Really. You are her first word. For a single shattering moment, Ba's cool facade breaks. She blinks fast, turning her face away as the memory finds its home. The central island is whole now, glowing with a warm amber light, and from its shore, 3 bridges of pure light unfurl, extending toward each of their separate islands. Bridges! Nik Flick screams with pure joy. She runs across hers without a second of hesitation, landing on the central island with a triumphant spin. Ba walks across hers, deliberate, hands in her pockets, but her pace is fast, urgent. Big Daddy is the last one across. As his feet touch the solid ground, the light of the island surges. Nik Flick slams into him with a hug that lifts her off her feet. He reaches his other arm out to Ba. She hesitates for only a breath, then steps into the circle.
together again on an island made of their own shared heart. From its center, a great tree grows, its trunk strong and its canopy splitting into 3 main branches that shelter them. The sky blooms from twilight into a soft golden dawn. The wind settles into a whisper. The 3 of them sit at the base of the tree. Nik Flick lies on her back, watching the light change. Baboon leans against her father's shoulder, her eyes closed. Big Daddy has a hand on each of his daughters. The world is perfectly quiet. The island hums beneath them, a low, contented thrum.
Nik Flick reaches up and catches a single, tiny fragment of light drifting by on the breeze. "Can I keep this one?" she whispers. Big Daddy's voice is soft, a murmur against Bae's hair. "You don't need to keep it. It already lives inside you."
But what if I forget? Ba speaks without opening her eyes, her voice filled with a new, quiet confidence. You won't. That's the whole point, Nik Flick. The silence returns, comfortable and complete. The golden light deepens, bathing them in warmth. The world breathes.
And the light fades. The dream realm dissolves, not like shattering glass, but like a held breath gently releasing. Far away, morning sunlight streams into a quiet room. Big Daddy opens his eyes. He looks at the photo on his nightstand, and he smiles. Miles away, Nik Flick bolts upright in bed, clutching her stuffed bear. "We went to the islands," she says to it, her voice filled with sleepy wonder. "We were all there." And Bakhar. Down the hall, Ba is already awake, bathed in the morning light. She is looking at that old photo on her phone, her father carrying her on his shoulders. She types a message, deletes it, types again. Finally, she sends 3 simple words. Far away, Big Daddy's phone buzzes on the nightstand. He picks it up and reads the message. He closes his eyes, and the smile returns.
The dream realm is not a place. It is what happens when people who love each other refuse to forget.